From being the best players in the world, loved by fans, adored by kids, and thirsted over by the most beautiful women, to becoming criminals with a big stain on their legacy. What happened? We'll start with a story about a soccer star who meets a girl. Their families become friends and they get even closer. Then they start going out and soon become a couple. Everything's going great for them. The boy becomes a professional footballer, gets fans because of his talent, and starts making a truckload of money. And then one day, the girl makes a big accusation. She says the boy has domestically abused her and done other inappropriate and illegal things. She came with lots of receipts too, including an audio recording of the boy abusing her. The boy's career is destroyed because of this. This once promising young player can no longer show what he can do on the pitch. If this scenario seems familiar, well, it's because it is. Mason Greenwood was headed to the top. He was an amazing talent who many thought would win the Ballon d'Or in his lifetime. Manchester United fans had dreams, only for him to land himself in hot water. Mason Greenwood was outed as a domestic abuser and violent partner by his girlfriend Harriet Robson on Instagram in January 2022. She posted images of an audio clip of the lad's abuse towards her and broke the internet. Police immediately took the case up and arrested Greenwood.
Manchester United's Mason Greenwood has been further arrested on suspicion of sexual assault and threats to kill.
They planned to hold him for 1 month, but he was released after just 2 days. After 1 year in limbo, the case was dropped in February 2023. Now, he's slowly rebuilding his career, but he's no longer the player he was as a teenager. Only time will tell if he will ever be, but one thing's for certain, he's no longer Mason Greenwood, the football star. He's now Mason Greenwood, the domestic abuser who plays football. Shame, shame, shame. Oh, did I mention that he got back together with Harriet and they have a kid together? Damn! Yeah, what do you guys think about this? Comment below what you do if this happened to you. I wonder how their kid will handle this knowledge when they grow up. Just the same way I wonder about Anthony's kids too. When Greenwood lost his place at Manchester United, they looked for a solution. The club turned to Ajax in the Netherlands for that solution. Now, Ajax has a worldwide reputation for being one of the best teams for young talents, and there was a certain Brazilian whose flair caught the eye. His name, Anthony Mateus dos Santos. The streets call him Anthony. He was full of flair. He had his tricks in his bag, in his shorts, and up his sleeves. He could shoot the ball with a clean strike and could whip in crosses like he was headed to Calvary. At United, their eyes lit up, and they bought him for almost $100 million. Only if they knew. No, not about his football skills, even though many have begun to doubt him. If only they knew about his abusive history. Anthony dated Gabriela Cavalin, a Brazilian model and professional TV personality with a huge social media following. They even had a child together. He started dating her at Ajax and they moved to Manchester, England together. They looked like a great couple. One fateful day, her fans logged into their Instagram accounts to see a series of accusations. Accusations with messages to back them up, messages that were already in the hands of the police. Anthony, the player that United had brought to replace Greenwood, had been accused of the same crimes that cost Greenwood his place on the team. Here we go again, the fans cried out. Anthony got suspended by the club for investigations. His world crashed. He was now a domestic abuser. It didn't help that he also started to stink on the pitch too. He couldn't make any meaningful contribution to Manchester United. No goals, no assists, no crosses. And now, he too was a domestic abuser. In the end, he was cleared. United ended his suspension and called him back. Gabriela Cavalin is not letting the matter go, though, but Anthony has moved on with Rosaline Silva. His career? Well, only time will tell. But to many fans, he is no longer Anthony, the Brazilian winger. He is now Anthony, the domestic abuser who plays football. At least he didn't attain legend status only to lose it. Like Dani Alves. Imagine having a career so successful that the world thinks of you first when they think of a certain position on the pitch. Nobody played right back like Dani Alves, in this generation at least. From Bahia to Brazil to Sevilla in Spain, and then to Barcelona, where he spent 8 magical years with the best team in the world, before moving on to adventures with Italy with Juventus, France with PSG, then to Sao Paulo in Brazil, before returning to Barcelona and finishing off in Mexico. The world was in awe of how the man played at right back. Until Lionel Messi matched his record, Dani Alves stood alone for years as the most decorated footballer on planet Earth. He won a staggering 44 trophies in his career. Most players don't even get to lift 5 trophies in their lifetimes. The best ones rarely lift 15 in their careers, but this man won 44. And he did it as the best right back in the world for years. Every young right back wanted to be like Alves. Great technique, great dribbling ability, great vision, incredible passing range, great speed, amazing shot power, great ball striking ability, an amazing defender. But most of all, he was Messi's best friend on the pitch. To date, only Luis Suarez has assisted Messi more than Alves ever did. And the last time they played for the same team was in 2016. If he retired in 2016 when he left Barca, nobody would ever forget him. He was already a legend. Until he forced himself on a woman in 2022. Dani Alves was at a party in Barcelona in 2022, and he just couldn't control himself. In 2024, he was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison after spending over a month in jail waiting for the trial. Once a legend, he is now a common, broke criminal. Reminds me of another player who had to deal with a similar accusation thanks to his party animal lifestyle. Benjamin Mendy moved to Manchester City and all hell broke loose. He always enjoyed the nightlife, even as a rookie football player. He made his first big bucks, and after doing smart stuff like saving, investing, and buying some property, he blew the rest on going clubbing and nightlife. After playing his heart out for AS Monaco in the 2016 and 17 season, the city snapped him up. They gave him a starting shirt and increased his salary by a huge margin. Boy, did they light a fire under this guy. He played his heart out to earn every penny of his salary and then spend some quality time, outside. His fast life became a problem at one time for Man City even, and if they knew what he got up to, maybe things could have turned out a little different. You see, Benjamin Mendy loved the ladies. There was always a different one on his arm every night, and this would lead to one of his biggest mistakes in his career. A few years ago, many of these ladies he was with accused him of a certain criminal charge, and that would be the tipping point of his life. Before and during the trial, Benjamin Mendy spent time in detention. Between 10th of September 2021 and 7th of January 2022, Benjamin Mendy was behind bars. From 8th of January 2022 until the completion of the trial in January 23, he was under house arrest. He was found not guilty and has since been rebuilding his career out of the spotlight. To think he could have been convicted of 10 counts of certain illegal activities, he later had money issues due to the expensive cost of lawyers to defend him in the case. Messi, on the other hand, would not have felt a dent in his wealth if he spent time in jail. No, Messi wasn't involved in criminal charges like the previous football stars. He was in a fight with the government. There's a little thing called taxes. It's what a government all over the world demands from us after we work a hard time for a living. Yeah, I don't like it either, but the government uses it to run the economy and all that. So Messi, being the best player in the world and one of the most marketable individuals on the planet, earned some cool cash. And then, sometimes in 2016, the Spanish government came out to say, "Hey Messi, you owe us 5 million euros. What do you mean I owe you 5 million euros? Dad, what are they saying?" Messi asked his father, Messi Sr. Messi was making bank, but he didn't care much. He just wanted to see the fruits of his labor and left the rest to his father. Well, it turns out his father didn't know enough about taxes and in the end fell into the Spanish government's trap. After a long trial, Messi was charged with 21 months in jail. Messi being in jail?
What?
Imagine that. One of the best football players ever to live being a criminal? Many would say if he went to jail for 21 months, this would have been a huge detriment to his career to miss practice and games. But his lawyers argued, and the first-time offender rule was applied, which helped him get away with just a fine. A big fine at that of 252,000 euros or 288,000 US dollars. I cannot help but imagine if he went away for 21 months. That's such a scary thought. Comment below if you think his career would be ruined if he went to jail, or do you think he could have made a comeback? There have been so many others who escaped jail like Messi for tax issues. There have also been many others who landed in jail like Benjamin Mendy and Mason Greenwood for arguably bigger crimes. In the end, these all go on to show that footballers are human like you and me, capable of making mistakes and doing stupid things. But there's another mistake Messi was known for, and that's his eating habits. You guys have to see what Messi and other football stars actually eat. Click on the video on the screen now.